As you can see behind me, we're all set up for this coming Sunday night's guest speaker we're bringing in, Neely Cousins, on how to raise a mensch. There's still a little bit of time to sign up. We're almost sold out. We're expecting a great crowd and a phenomenal speech from Neely Cousins. And sign up while you can. This week's Torah portion of Vayigash, we're coming to the conclusion of the story of Joseph. Just to backtrack a little bit, we knew the brothers had, instead of killing him at the time where they thought that they were threatened by him, they sold him into slavery, and he goes down as a slave to Egypt. Quickly, he becomes the viceroy, the second in command to Pharaoh. He helps them navigate through a famine. The brothers, who are also facing the effects of the famine, come down to Egypt. And it comes time where Joseph to reveal to his brothers, you think I'm the viceroy, you don't recognize me, but I am your brother. But before he does so, the scripture talks about that he asked all of his officers to please leave the room. And Rashi explains the reason why he asked them to leave the room is because when he revealed to them, Ani Yosef, I am your brother, who you sold into slavery, the brothers would have been tremendously embarrassed. Oh my goodness, obviously God had a plan for him to ascend, to become the viceroy. It was the right thing. Eventually this is his holy brother, and they did the wrong thing by trying to hurt him. It would have been tremendously embarrassing. And Joseph did not want them to go through that embarrassment. Very noble. However, there's a discussion amongst the Medrash, is what Joseph did, was that proper or improper? Meaning to say, the one who said it's improper said, your brothers at one point in time wanted to kill you. Now what you're doing is you're taking all your officers, all your guards, in front of these 10 powerful men who in the history prior had tried to kill you. Who's to say they won't try to kill you again? You put yourself at risk. And they explain that what Joseph did was a phenomenal act. He put himself potentially at risk because he said, you know what? I cannot embarrass my brothers in public. The Gemara, the Talmud in Sota explains that a person should throw themselves into a fiery furnace before embarrassing someone publicly. We see how far the lengths we have to go. And a practical example, I know we all fall prey to this where accidentally we embarrass someone when you don't necessarily mean to, but it happens. But I think there's one group of people that we don't necessarily view embarrassing them as the classic concept of embarrassing someone. And who is that? Our little children. Is that our little children embarrass us in stores without even thinking about it, crying. But us as adults, who can discern and understand, don't go through those tantrums, have to be so careful not to embarrass our children in public. Our children are impressionable. They're building their self-esteem. And we have opportunities where, of course, we're parenting at some points and we have to say things, but to constantly be mindful, if it's true that each person should throw themselves into a furnace before embarrassing someone, I would dare say this is the same thing that applies to a child. A child is a person. And we need to do our utmost to be careful that, of course, we have to parent at times, and we'll learn more about Sunday night. Here are some tips. But we need to be careful not to embarrass our children at all costs. I'd like to wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom and a wonderful week.